Hi, welcome to Outlaw Bookseller. Off to London, Sunday, 24th of March, 2024. Vintage paperback show, stroke fair, and ephemera fair. Holiday in Bloomsbury. So here we are at the railway station as usual. Maybe it's time for the theme tune. Yeah? Let's do it. Right, Holiday Inn, somewhere down here, I believe. This is like the bit in Clockwork Orange where Alex walks around in a circle in the market to buy his albums. Of course, you'll notice that Kubrick does that circular thing in virtually all his films, of course. So this is the ephemera room. Loads and loads to see here.
Just show you those. No, I didn't think so. I just found. Did you look at that? Back. So it's Stevie. I will do. Really? Have I not priced them?
Sorry I'm late for work, boys.
Here he is.
Shocking, isn't it? So here we are, the famous Dorset Bob, usual high quality as ever. Marvellous stuff. You're seeing all these upside down, of course, but probably will know what you're looking at anyway, so very, very nice. Did I bring my list? Of course I didn't bring my list. Do I ever bring my list? I always forget. You all seem to recognise those. And wow. Right, well, I suppose I should help you, really.
I know. I'll bring my guitar, do play left-handed. That's the only thing we've got.
See what we've got.
But looking at his stuff, I can see why. It was very boring. Sorry, Brian. Yeah, they're very good actually. Yeah, work ethic. No, they're slightly outside your time. Definitely. A friend of mine's a big fan, and I bought him this last year.
Thank you.
How many copies have you got for your book? About 10 left. How much is it? 20.
I'm just here. Yeah.
Have you buy stuff there?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll put that in my... Oh, God. That's in there somewhere, is it?
You can get anywhere, you'd be lucky.
Oh, it'll calm down soon, won't it?
Yeah. Well, it will do, yeah.
Do you have a bit of fun? You have a nice...
Right, Steve, yeah, nice to meet you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you. Not like you haven't met before.
No. Nice to meet you, Ken, yeah. First time this year, I think.
First time this year, yes.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, God, it's going
Quite a long while ago, wasn't it, before you came?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a bit, feeding friends are here.
Yeah, this is all yours, I take it.
Yeah.
Well, very good, yeah. I heard there's a drama this morning with the van. But you didn't come up with Bob, did you?
No,
you come up, so yeah, they had a drama.
Did they?
They had to stick it all in the back of Jules's car, apparently. So.
Oh dear.
Well, come and have a prop chat later.
Sure,
Let you get on. It's great to see you, man. It really is. So that's Morris from Zardoz. I'm just going to see if I can actually get round, because I'm supposed to be working here today. This is the thing. So yeah. So are you my boss today?
You alright, mate?
As Bob, yeah, I'm alright. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Yes,
I'm fine,
I finally
mate.
captured you on camera. Yeah. It's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I might hope to look at some books later on. So
If we're lucky.
if we're lucky, yeah.
I got.
What Nicholas Royal is doing. There's an M. John Harrison one, and I missed that as well. So there's John from Sci-Fi Scavenger. Hi, John. I knew John would be tall and handsome, and there's Kenny. I knew Kenny would be handsome as well. So I could have seen you online. So and you are Gary. Nice to meet you, Gary. Gary's been watching the channel as well. He's got a fantastic Outlaw Bookseller t-shirt on, which I'm very envious of, to say the least. So yeah, are you appearing on camera? No, maybe. There's Dorset Bob, a rare glimpse in the wild, natural habitat and all that. Great stuff. Well, I'm supposed to be helping himself then, so I'll catch up with you later on. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to have a look and see what he's got for sale, because I thought some money with me. Yes, I've got a 7-house hardcover. It's a reissue, but it's got the same cover as the Grafton one from that time. It's got Bill Kennedy as a robot, and in the background. And of course, the short version is called Aliens. I found it a little bit discombobulated. It's like your worst kind of jungle sale nightmare. You have to kind of people sweeping stuff off the shelves into their shopping trolleys, filtering it out later. Supermarket sweep stuff. Yeah. But I've got a few things. Nothing too exciting. A few things off Bob's store and as you do. Morris's kind of bargain basement. I can't see me getting to do much shopping today, but I can have a look around. But it's amazing, isn't it? It's really good. It's great to meet you, man. Yeah, it certainly is. There was a queue around the book. Yeah, so I heard, it's amazing. Why not doing things? So that's John from Sci-Fi Scavenger. Look what else is here. Edward Brown. Wow, it's nice. So what are vintage paperbacks? I mean, to me, it's anything before there's an ISBN, but I mean, my collecting is all about 70s and 80s, really, in sort of mint condition. So in some ways, I'm outside that thing. This is a great book, and we get this Clash by Night. Really recommend that. The prequel to Fury, possibly written, of course, by C.L. Moore. Really nice. I love your Fontana. It's fantastic. I should probably pick that up. I can't remember if I got it or not. It's quite an uncommon Sheckley, that. I got that myself. Don't see that very often. Only ever had one printing. Sphere, of course. That's a Sheckley I'm really fond of as well. State of Civilization. Simac, who never really does it for me, to be honest. Nice 4 square Sheckley there. That's back in print in Penguin Classic SF. And of course 4 square, the precursor of Podring Stoughton in terms of NEL and Coronet, who we know from the 70s. There's a book you don't see very much. I've always wanted a hardcover. This was the first book I bought myself when I became a bookseller back in 1984. Walter Tevis's Far From Home. Well, slightly to the spine, but very, very uncommon. That's something anybody should pick up. There's supposed to be a collection of Tevis's stories coming out. It was supposed to come out last year and it got delayed, but I think it's all uncollected stuff, so there we go. Right, well, you've got quite a nice stash there. You've got to let me see them again. Look at that, manifolded inside.
So we bought a lot of stuff.
Do you mind if I move through those?
Yes, sure.
Great stuff. I've got this really weird Ben Bella trade paperback of this.
Yeah,
it's a big one. Yeah, I got a Faber first
yeah.
as well, but obviously it's UK first. Robert Silverby, you'll see them very much. Do you know, in fact, I actually don't have that one. I got in, I think, the Stark House recently. But
if you want to...
no, honestly, no,
yeah.
I'm not. You know, I'm not a completist, I keep saying.
Yeah.
But I love Barry stuff.
Yeah,
I've got
it's
one
your
of,
fault.
yeah, well, you know, he's so miserable, isn't he? And it's like everybody's always having sex, and it's always utterly joyless, which is just what I like about his stuff. Hey, great to meet you. You got a good stash there, man. Now, this chap here with the pink t-shirt on, he might appear to be your regular Londoner, but this is Steve Holmes, who's been my mate since 1981 and who does a lot of the music on my channel. So there you go. So, and you know, it's my fault probably he's buying all this.
Yeah.
What's he getting? Yeah.
My reading list has just gone through the roof because of this. We'll call that a tenner.
Yeah.
We'll call that a tenner. So that's $49.95.
No, this is Steve Holmes. The occupier is Phil Barnes. He can't be here today.
Thank you.
He would have been, but I think he's probably working. There's some bagging there as well, Steve. So this is probably the most chaotic video I've ever shot. It's going to be a nightmare to edit, but I've just been approached by a guy called Rob, who's here on the channel. I've talked to a few already. Sorry if I've talked to you and you've not been in it, because trying to talk and shop and supposed to be helping Bob and do this on the same time, it's just impossible. And he just gave me a copy of One by David Karp in the very edition that I used to have. Very rarely see this fantastic dystopian novel from the 1950s. Wow. And as you will have seen, I bumped into my friend Steve, who I've known since 1981, and we used to sort of do the club scene in South Wales together, and we used to sort of do music together and stuff. We had like a little band and things, and we don't see each other very often. He travels a lot. He's in London, I'm in Bath, but he does a lot of the music on the channel, Steve Holmes. So he's just bought some stuff from Bob, so I'm going to do a mini haul of his stuff. So first of all, J.M. Dent Promised Land, there you go, and there we are. Bob gave him a discount on this because Bob's a good guy, and they've only did the first 4 of these in Dent, and the last 2 are pan originals. Now this is an interesting one because this is Golank's SF Masterwork Man in the High Castle, and what's interesting about this is that this is laminated boards. It's unjacketed, because there was a jacketed one with a different cover and it's a different format, because this is like an octavo. You see it's quite small. It's an octavo. Now the original Masterworks hardcovers about 25 years ago are all demis, so this is a later one, and the ones they do now of course have the yellow livery and are laminated, not with a jacket like that one. So there you go. But you don't often see that one. That's quite nice. I've got a first Man in the High Castle at home. I'm not sure I've shown it. This is a book which I really love, and it's not that uncommon. You never ever see one in fantastic nick. And this is The Boat of Fate by Keith Roberts, which is his historical novel set in the days of Rome, in Iberia, Spain and the UK, and Hutchinson, mid-70s. And this is actually a really nice copy. This was $9.95 from Bob, which is a snip. It's got some wear at the extremities of the jacket, but believe you me, this is really nice. I've never ever seen even a near fine one, and this is sort of like very good to excellent, I would say. Fantastic book. Here's a small press book from Sirius. They only ever did one book, and this is Keith Roberts' Katie on Tour, and there we go. And this is one of the last books that Keith did, and Sirius was Mike and Debbie Moir, who'd worked for Kerosena, the Impart Kerosena, and that illustrates a story called The Tiger Sweater. A terrible glare here in this hotel bar, And interestingly enough, I've actually met the model on the cover, and this of course is Jim Burns, and they are really unusual stories, the Katie stories. Katie on tour, fantastic stuff. So I think Steve's got himself a nice little haul there actually. So it's only 11 o'clock, so I've only been here an hour, and it's been completely overwhelming. I mean, talking to people who watch the channel, and it's just been great actually. It's great fun. But the beauty of this is that, you know, it's a real thing. It's a real thing in the world. It's not a virtual thing. Obviously you guys are seeing it on YouTube. You know, if we could all sort of zap us here in person, that would be much better. But it's just great to see people out and enjoying books and enjoying old books, because, you know, when you're sort of hunting in the wild, there's not a lot out there these days. It's all kind of spread around little bits here and there, but to get things all together in one place is really good. And I've seen loads of books which, you know, I would advise people to buy, so it really is quite something. Steve's getting us a coffee, and it's badly needed. I had one much earlier this morning, but I think later on there'll be something to eat. But it is really busy. I can't get over it. It's almost too busy. So perhaps I'll do some shopping later on, we'll see. But for now, I think Steve and I are just going to chill out a bit. Spent a lot of time talking to people today. It's something that even out a bit now, I might be able to actually get a look at things, which is good. These are words to live by. Don't call it sci-fi, call it SF.
Well, indeed.
Oh, look at that, he's got more. Oh, mate, that's... Well, I'm just going to get that on, aren't I? So
yeah, I made it last night. It's a Jerry Coney this, so there you go.
Well, yeah, that's the way to go. I recognise that face. Here's two of the worthies.
I put bits and pieces.
Doing the shop talk.
Things that I never found any money in a book. Yes, yeah. I have found money in a book in a car book sale, and I gave it back to them. 60 quid.
Are you talking about that thing Nicholas Royle's doing? Because he's got a book coming out called Insertions. Yeah, where it's all about things he's found inside books.
We were hoping he was going to be here today.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? I'd love to meet him. He's such a good guy. So
he has been here in the past. But I've had some great finds on my unboxings where I've cleaned the books up and I've like pressed flowers and little poignant notes. And
Nicholas lives in Manchester, doesn't he? Yeah, he's a Manchester guy. Yeah. So we're settled down a bit now, but it's still lots of fun. You can actually get to see what's what. So when Bob's had a bit more of a break, I can have a look around and maybe do some shopping myself. But as it is, it looks like he's got me again, because, you know, it's the quality. Let me show you what I'm thinking of going for. J.G. Ballard, The Drought, Penguin. Obviously I've got copies of The Drought, but I have been trying to get the early Penguin ones. Terminal Beach as well, absolutely beautiful, and these are great nick. And an SF Masterworks hardcover of Childhood's End, which is probably my favourite Clark. I'm not a big Clark fan, but I do like these, and I bought a lot when they came out, and this is a good price as well, so that's probably what I'm going to go for. Very nice. I got a little stash behind the counter. As ever, you're going to have more of my money. I don't think anybody else get much of a look in. I did buy a book from Steve over there, that one I showed you, but yeah.
But books are better than money, aren't they? Because you can't read money and you can't fund the week.
And when you've spent it, it's gone. With books, you can just keep it. Yeah. So, look at that.
No point in them.
Wow. Lovely. Ah, absolutely. Yeah. Your stuff's fantastic. And for my YouTube channel, where can people get in touch with you to buy from you?
I'm a private seller, so I don't have a website or anything like that. So I'm just selling stock here on the day.
You're right. Okay, so you do it the old school way, and why not? Yeah, lovely stuff as well, guys. Really nice. Lovely stuff. There's just so much to look through. Now this is Morris's stuff, which is mostly a quid. So, oh, that's nice. Edited by Peter Hayney. Oh, cool. So I go to Morris's now and again, and oh gosh, you know, it's like you could be there all years. You've got so much. Really good stuff. Lovely. So if you want to pick up things at really decent price, your collection fillers and some special stuff as well, you go to All You Need Is Books, aka Zardoz, like the old film, and you can see a lot more of his stock, and he's always up for buying things as well, so well worth a look. It used to be that people were interested because things were kitsch, but they're not now. They genuinely love it. It's not like, oh, look how kitsch that is, look how cool that is, and there's kind of irony there. That's gone. Those days are gone. Now people genuinely love the thing itself, and they recognise that, say, the art of the paperback, the art of the A format, the cover art, all those things have an iconography and power that books otherwise don't have anymore, and they love it. They realise that it's from an authentic time, and a vibrant time.
One day we'll get to a stage where paperbacks fetch as much money as hardbacks.
Well, I think it's getting there, actually. It's definitely getting there, you know, and it's which is some cases more.
Paperbacks are rare. Very easy to find that in the trade.
Very much so.
I think it's 16.50, but parking is free. So I'm parked just around the corner. So when you think about it, that's not pretty bad. On a Sunday, it's completely free, as long as you're not on double yellows, and it's an area where you're allowed to park, as long as you're not a resident.
So here we are.
Here we are again. We're both a bit tired. I'm pushed,
you must have been. You got up at what time in the morning?
4:30 this morning.
4:30. 4:30.
From Dorset Bob's to London.
Cripes. So, and you had some book buying adventures yesterday.
Yeah, so that'll be, I mean, literally, it was, Bob said, while you're here, why don't we just check out the bookshops and charity shops? We must have done 5 or 6 bookshops, including one proper second-hand.
Nice,
one. We also went to his friend Scott, who runs a Real Ale brewery.
Right.
Scott's
now we got the true story.
A prop guy. So he's worked on Red Dwarf, Doctor Who.
Right. Okay.
Back in the day, he worked at Noel's house party making props.
Noel's house party.
He actually gave me, and I'm going to have this on the video, some bits of Cyberman and Dalek from that he's made off bits of it.
Okay.
I mean, the stuff that he had there was just incredible. Foam Crichton heads from Red Dwarf and stuff like this. But sir, you know, just brilliant. And he's a huge Blake 7 fan. We immediately hit it off. It's just a fantastic guy, and the ale was just knocked out. It was really knocked out.
Excellent.
And then
because you know, people on this channel tell me off for drinking lager, don't they?
Do they? Well, it was real ale, you know. Yeah. Although I'm driving today, so I'm just on a 7-Up.
Yes,
so,
you've got to go with it.
I'm driving home, so I've got to be good.
So have you bought anything?
Yeah. So I bought.
Obviously, we're going to see it on your channel.
I'm going to do it. I'll do a quick unboxing, and then I'll do cleaning at the end of the month. But I bought from a dealer who wasn't in the paperback show, but he was sort of on the way in.
Yes.
And he had 24 Agatha Christie's.
Right.
Some earlier Fontana, but most of them were the Tom Adams covers.
Yeah.
The beautiful ones.
Yeah.
I know I've got some, but I know I haven't got them all.
Yes.
For £45. Well, it's a really good price. A couple of quid each, and nice copies. And I had one Penguin off him as well. I picked up a copy of a pan called The Reluctant Legionnaire, which I've been after for ages. I can't find it, literally months. One hasn't turned up. But I've got the original cover rough by Taylor for that one, remember?
I
got it off Morris, but no actual
you see
book.
The difference, don't you, between the original artwork and the finished?
Exactly.
So
it's finally got the physical book. That was a couple of quid. Obviously, I've got some stuff off Dorset Bob, because I was there in his warehouse. It's like you're in the zone, aren't you?
You are in the zone, So, from the very wonderful Steve Jones, editor of Best in Horror. Why don't we go chat with? What a great guy he is. Great guys. I bought this, and this is a book I've got a trade paperback of it, and this is, I knew this author vaguely online, and this is The Vampire Tapestry by Susie McKee Charnes, which is amazing. It's a fix-up novel. It's 5 stories about a vampire, and this is really, really great.
The queue, bananas all the way round on the outside, and then round the corner again. I think the dealers seem to have had a good day. There's lots of stores with empty boxes. I think they've sold a lot of books. Certainly Bob sold some, hasn't he?
Definitely,
And Morris seems very happy. So the dealers I've spoken to,
Morris always seems very happy.
Yeah, he sounds great.
With Morris, as long as he's a mother of old books, he's a happy camper. Yeah, it's there, isn't it?
guy.
Yeah. So I guess we should sort of stop talking at you lot now and finish these drinks and carry on, because we'll have to get back in there.
We will.
Before the day is done.
It's only 1:30.
Yeah.
We've got a couple more hours of
Thanks for the interview, Jules.
No worries.
And
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. And
Good stuff.
you can always watch this man on his own channel, which all the best people in the known cosmos do.
Oh, well, hopefully. Only the good ones, yeah.
So it has to be said, that was pretty much overwhelming. I talked to loads of people and caught up with Steve, who does the music. Talked to Steve Jones, editor of Best New Horror. I didn't capture much of that, and there's a lot of things I wanted to capture I didn't, so it'd be a chaotic video, but it gives you an essence of how like overwhelming it is. And I think next time I'll come along and just do some shopping and show you a haul later. But I hope you enjoyed that. It's amazing actually how much Berwick Street has cleaned up in the last 15 years or so. There used to be a lot of wreck shops and things down here. I've been down here for years and years and years. But with my friend Steve today, who lives in London, we were talking, you know, as you saw, and he was saying, you know, everything's cleaned up, you know, it's not as interesting as it was. Everything's shrinking culturally. And you can see it, you know, you can see it in the retail culture is on the way out. This is Poland Street. West 1. This is where William Blake was born, on this street. That's my favourite pub in London. The Star and Garter is closed today, which is interesting. I used to go and drink there a lot with the guys from Rhubarb's DVD Forum a long time ago. I actually made a video about this street without actually revisiting it. And also something else in the literary sense here is the Factory novels by Derek Raymond, very sort of black, noir, hard-boiled detective novels, crime novels, police procedurals really, with an edge, are set around a police station in this street with a nameless detective. And Poland Street, you know, it's a real central thoroughfare for me. I go into the Star and Garter, and when you get to the end of it, the big HMV used to be directly opposite, and that was always somewhere I'd shop a lot back in the day. This is Soho Square, and this is where my publisher, ANC Black, used to have their offices. Of course, they swallowed it by Bloomsbury, and it's all out somewhere else now, but I'll never forget the excitement of sort of rocking up here to meet my editor for the first time and everything. It was really amazing moment, you know, to know one was becoming a professionally published author, one of the great sort of thrills of my life. So happy days, you know. And now we go on to the wrap-up segment where I talk about my feelings about the thing as a whole. Right, so it's 2 days after the fair and I'm still utterly shapeless. I worked the day before, I worked yesterday, so I haven't really had any downtime and it's been very full on. But it's time for the book haul segment. So you saw pretty much what I bought at the fair in the video, but I'm going to show you some more. And there's some other things as well just to talk through. And of course, if you watch Jules Burt's, there he is, look at the scamp. If you watch his video on his channel, because he got there earlier to help Bob set up, they went up together and Bob had a problem with the van, so Jules was able to save the day a bit. Great guys they are. then you'll see what the fair looked like before I arrived, and of course by then it was full-blown chaos. So there you go, and subscribe to Jules' channel because he's the man. Well, lovely bloke. I miss working with him. We worked together years ago. It was such fun. So what did I pick up? Well, here's something I actually picked up in Forbidden Planet, because as you saw, I got a bit overwhelmed. I needed some fresh air and light, and it was coming towards the end of the fair. And apologies here to Stephen Jones, editor of Best New Horror and author of many great books on that subject, who I thought I'd filmed some stuff, they didn't come out, and it's just really, really annoying. But you see, you get an idea of how difficult it is to film, to shop, and to talk to everybody. And, you know, I'll do better next time, I promise. But Jules has had loads of experience at filming at events, and I'm sort of still getting into it, really. So there you go. It is what it is. That's what you love about this channel. It's raw and unfiltered. Anyway, I went Forbidden Planet, which is always a bit sad, and I bought this. This is The Holy Machine by Chris Beckett. Now, yeah, I've got this. I've got several copies, but I really like Chris. This is signed. This is an A format edition from, let's see, Cosmos Wildside. And Chris always says this is his favourite cover, and I do have the hardback version, which is kind of print on demand. So this is really the original, and that's great stuff. And I say Chris hasn't been well. He's working a new novel, and there's a Chris Beckett overview coming up on the channel soon, maybe next week. Great stuff. Do read it. Never mind all this Clara and the Sun stuff. Never mind all these other people. This is the one for the old AI thing. And as I showed you from Steve Jones' Best New Horror, I bought this, The Vampire Tapestry by Susie McKee-Charnes, for £3. I have a trade paperback. I love her first. It's quite expensive. She died sadly last year. I used to interact with her a bit online. This is a fantastic vampire SF novel. I really recommend it. It's very cold and existential. It has 5 different segments. There's one I'm not keen on, but the rest are just absolutely fantastic. It's a really key book. It's been out of print in the UK for years and years and years. Try and pick one up at whatever cost. It really is very special indeed. And this is the first paperback. Very, very nice. £3. You can't go wrong, really. Then, looking at the Ballard stuff from Bob, even though I've got loads of Ballard hardcover firsts and reprints, I have been trying to get the early A format paperbacks from Penguin and Panther, and this is the Terminal Beach, and I love this period, and these are really uncommon in this sort of nick, and it's the Dorset Bob standard, and he gave me a nice discount. Really great stuff. And the Terminal Beach, of course, has different contents. If you have the US edition, this is the proper one with things like the Drowned Giant, so go for a UK edition where you can. Then a Ballard first that I don't think I'll ever get because it's so expensive and you can't find them in good nick is The Drought, his third novel. I do have a hardcover reprint. I have other paperback editions, but this Penguin one with this sort of flake of strange metal on the front is just really lovely. So that's another Bob special, and these are uncommon. They're always expensive, but in this nick they're virtually impossible to find. So that's the wonder of Dorset Bob again. Something I picked up from work that I've been meaning to get for ages is this Polish SF novel, Robot. I'm not going to try and pronounce the author's name, Snurg, Wisniewski Snurg, and this is supposed to be really good, and it claims that it's actually the best Polish SF novel in its period. Okay, we'll have to see. Looking forward to reading it. Surely it's a Stanislaw Lem novel, you'd have thought, but really nice. Then, because, again, I'm missing him because he's gone, and I like his work even though it's straight ahead. It's always beautifully readable and great fun, and he's a real comfort read for me, is Eric Brown. And this is Guardians of the Phoenix in B format, still in print from Solaris from about 2007. Really great stuff. So when I'm in the mood for mind candy of quality, high quality candy, I'll be going for that. Something I bought and something I'm going to talk about on the channel soon. This has only just come out in the UK, and this is Blue Lard by Vladimir Sorokin, who's a Russian writer. I'd say he's an SF writer, but he employs SF purely because of satirical needs, and he's absolutely loathed in Russia. There's a couple of his books in Penguin Modern Classics, and he can be quite hard to read. There's another one in NYRB like this, which is called the Ice Trilogy, and this has got a Max Ernst cover, so I had to get it. But it may well be unreadable, and it's apparently an art of desecration. And really, when this came out, they did this thing. Putin supporters built this giant papier-mâché toilet, and they threw copies of Sorokin's books into it. So, and this is about writers being forced to produce things, and they produce this blue lard out of their backs, and it's set in the future, the genetic engineering with it, and it just sounds completely wild. And whether it'll actually be readable, I have looked at the afterword, and it says, you know, you don't even have to read it, you just should own it, because he's a good guy, and it may well be unreadable, so maybe it is, but you can't really argue with that. It's MYRB, so fantastic. To finish off, as you saw, I got the Arthur C. Clarke Childhood's Ends in Masterworks hardcover, and of course as soon as I showed this to Jules, he was saying, you know, there's about 10 of those, isn't there? And I don't really do numbering things, but I've got about 5 or 6 of them, and I do like this Clarke, and it's very beautiful. I spotted that at Bob's last time. So it's a small haul. It was an exhausting thing, as you see. I hope you enjoy it. You'll see a probably more balanced and Apollonian account on Jules's channel. This was the Dionysian one. And thanks for watching, and it was great to meet up with John and Kenny RH, and I talked to Steve Jones, as I say, from Best New Horror, but I didn't capture any footage, which is a great shame. That's the first time that's happened to me, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, I'll see you soon, guys. Onwards and upwards. Enjoy your SF reading, and bye for now.